Yeah. But I can't see any chats or anything like that.
Me neither.
No, don't, no, what? Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for this Wisdom Wednesday session. We are just going to give it a few more minutes, and then we will hand over to Pumla for our introductions. And I'm really looking forward to spending some time with you as we go through this session today.
All right, it's 1 minute past 11. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Academy of York's Wisdom Wednesday. My name is Pumla, and I'm joined today by our head of operations, Janine, who's going to be the host for our session. We are so excited to spend the next little while with you, focusing on a topic that truly forms the heart of any successful interaction, which is customer service. But we are going a little deeper than the standard talk today. We want to explore what it means to serve with genuine kindness, care, and compassion. It's about making every person or customer feel the customer experience and not transactional, but truly the human experience. We have a lot of great insights and stories to share today, but this is a conversation and not just a presentation. We'd love for you to engage with us and share your thoughts, your challenges, and best practices on our chat function throughout the session. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat section and bringing your comments and questions into the discussion. Thank you so much for joining us, and over to you, Janine.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Pumla. I really appreciate it. And I just want to start off by thanking everyone for joining us today. I am aware that it is that time of the year where we all need to have 48-hour days to be able to complete everything that we were working towards for the year. So thank you for making the time to join us, and thank you for Pumla as well for being our co-host. So, as Pumla said, my name is Janine. I'm the head of operations and customer and student support with the College Academy of York. I've been here since 2018, and the student support team fall directly under me. And we do understand that there's an importance when it comes to serving with kindness to our students. And I look forward to unpacking that. So the philosophy around customer services, serving with kindness and compassion will be unpacked today in more detail. As my wonderful co-host Pumla said, we are going to be asking for some interactions. You're welcome to post any comments or questions in the chat box as we're going through. Pumla can pause and jump in when I'm rattling on so that I can answer any questions as we go along. But yes, we're hoping to have a lovely interactive session this morning. So without any further delay, the overview for our session today is going to be the why uh, the care is vital in the career and success environment, what is customer services, and the 7 essential customer service support skills. So these are everyone's least favorite one, accepting criticism, empathy, scripting, positivity, persuasiveness, uh, competency, product knowledge, and then why care matters, and the Academy of York's philosophy, and then the question and answer session at the end. So I hope that we're going to have a lovely session this morning. I'll start my presentation talking about the word, where the career starts with care. So has anyone ever considered how many of our daily words that are involved in our careers have the word care in it? We've got career, we've got self-care, carelessness, healthcare, aftercare, caregiver, carefree, careful, just all surrounding care. So we know for any of us who have children, there's a lot of things involved there. Healthcare is obviously quite important as well. And all of these different aspects fold in so nicely with the word care itself. So care is not a job title. It is a daily choice. A choice to notice, to help, to connect, and to make a difference in other people's lives. So this goes from colleagues that we work with, to our own families and friends, to our clients and customers that we deal with, and thinking about what care means in your role. So I know Pumla, who's our graduation coordinator, understands the word care when it comes to our graduations. Pumla, do you want to expand a little bit about how the care gets folded into your role as the graduation coordinator?
Definitely, Janine. It's a big part of my role, ensuring that I care for our students. It has to shine through the event, that we're not just doing an event to just pass time or just tick the box, but we take care of every little detail to make sure that our students feel special at the end of the day.
That's fantastic. And I don't know if anyone on the call today has been to one of our graduations, but I'm sure if anyone has, they can certainly attest to the fact that a lot of care and planning goes in to try and make it just the most special day. We love celebrating our students' success. And for my role personally, as I deal with the student support team, it is very important for us to be able to understand where our students are coming from and the difficulties that they face. Most people, myself and Pumla included, have all done distance learning studies, so we understand how tricky it is to find that balance in terms of completing your normal duties, parenting, being a family member, being a friend, getting your work completed, doing your studies. We understand that there's quite a lot of balancing that goes in there. So I'm hoping that a lot of our students on the call have felt that care coming from our team. So the next section was, how do you feel when you know people care, either the people we serve or the people we lead? So this is an important one. For anyone who's worked in a working environment where they've had a very difficult manager who has not shown them any care, and I certainly have, it was very difficult to find motivation, to feel how you belong, to feel that you contribute positively if you didn't feel any level of care from your management. I'm hoping that most people on the call, if not all of you, have a very supportive and caring manager behind you. That doesn't mean that we're always just soft and sweet. I think that my team and maybe even Pumla could attest to the fact that sometimes, unfortunately, we do need to make sure that things run smoothly and all policies and procedures are followed. But it doesn't stop people from being able to show that they care for their team members. Does care in the world of work make a difference? Wow. Pumla, is there anyone who has commented on the chat for us with regards to that? I mean, for me personally, I think that it's an indisputable importance. Has anyone else commented on whether they feel that the word care is important in the world of work?
Not as yet, no.
How about you then, Pumla? Do you feel that it's important in your daily work to feel care?
It's important because it makes everything that you do better. If you care for the work that you're doing, you care for the people you're serving. For an example, if you were to go to a hospital or a clinic, the first thing that you're looking for at the time when you're in pain is somebody that's going to care for you and show you that, they are interested and they are invested in what they are doing. It makes the world of a difference. It might not ease the pain, but at the moment when you are receiving that care and compassion, it'll make the world of difference to whoever is on the receiving end of the service. Yeah. We have Lucia who says care in the workplace is very important. And Mandy says if you care, you make someone feel noticed and special.
Everyone is absolutely 100% correct. I loved all of those feedbacks. Thank you so much. So there's a quote, I think the author was Maya Angelou, if I remember correctly. Please don't be angry if I forget. I don't have it in front of me. But it says that people will forget what you said and people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how they make you feel. So I think that that's a very important aspect. Thank you for sharing. So has anyone actually ever thought about the definition for customer care? So I did a bit of research on this, and this for me just really, really hit home. So customer care is defined as the art of turning problems into possibilities, concerns into confidence, and every interaction into a teachable moment. It's where empathy meets efficiency and support becomes a catalyst for learning, helping students, parents, and educators feel heard, valued, and empowered. For me, that was just such a powerful, powerful statement. So I thought that we would explore this morning what some of the main essential skills are that we could consider when we look at customer care. So I found this sort of breakdown to give us a bit more detail, and it starts with these skills. So the ability to take criticism, the empathy, scripts, positivity, persuasiveness, competency, and product knowledge that I mentioned right at the beginning. So, yeah, I don't know about anyone else on the call, but it took me a really, really long time to understand the importance of criticism in my personal life, work life, everything. So, no one ever got any better at anything without receiving feedback on where they can improve. But boy, it's hard. It's a really, really tough one to swallow. It's hard for us to take a step back sometimes and to listen to constructive feedback. It can feel very personal. But listening to criticism can help people to get a good understanding about where they went wrong, how to fix it going forward. It is quite important on how it's put forward, though. So people need to be able to give honest feedback, but the receiver needs to feel like it's a friendly conversation in an effort to help someone. I don't think it's a very positive environment if negative feedback is given in a way to not try and improve the person or approached in a way that makes them feel like, oh, bad, really. I mean, there's no other way to say it. So because concerns can't be addressed and problems can't be resolved without feedback. This is all important. This in every environment, whether you're a colleague dealing with a colleague, a manager dealing with employees, employees dealing with their managers, customers, clients, everyone. And reasonable requires should be accommodated to improve services in future. So yeah, I mean, we welcome feedback in any environment. I welcome feedback from my team. I welcome feedback from the students on where they feel that we can make some improvements. And sometimes really wonderful feedback is provided. Other times, unfortunately, it's not something the business can provide. But I do think that it's important that people feel that they have a platform to be able to voice where they feel we could make some improvements in any environment. Has anyone on this call received any negative feedback that they found really difficult to handle? Anyone want to share some of their personal experiences? How about you, Pumla? Have you ever been given any negative feedback?
Necessarily negative. I wouldn't say negative, but I'd say constructive criticism. Because if somebody gives you tips and tricks on how to do better next time, and it just it helps you get better. But I wouldn't necessarily call it negative feedback. But I do get constructive criticism every now and again, which I welcome if it comes with kindness, of course.
Excellent. That's a very diplomatic way to look at things, Pumla. I loved how you phrased that. Very positive. I have definitely received negative feedback. Not necessarily as much constructive criticism. I have received lots of that as well. But yeah, it is important to try and see past the emotional side of things to just see how that it can help you grow. So it sounds like you have a really good attitude towards feedback there, Pumla. Very well done to you. So when we're receiving criticism at work, it's hard, but it can be very helpful. So if there's a way that someone can approach feedback on improvements with kindness, as Puma said, it can build your self-awareness, it can encourage your skills development, it can build emotional resilience, improve relationships and teamwork, and boost performance and career growth. So there's a very nice one here in terms of if there are any areas of improvements. There are just so many different courses and learning opportunities. And if it's not sort of soft skills that maybe a mentor can assist with in the environment, but courses can certainly help boost your confidence and your performance and career growth. So it's something to really bear in mind. It's lifelong learning, lifelong learning. So feedback can help us grow. So Pumla is an expert in this. I've certainly had conversations with Pumla, and she said to me, this person, what they did is they just listened to respond. They didn't listen to understand. And I think that that's a very important thing to always remember. We are in an environment at the moment where we are bombarded with so much information, social media, news. It's just constant all the time. There was a report released where they said that as humans, our attention span has dropped from 20 seconds to 8 seconds before we lose interest in something because we've just got so much coming at us at all times. So it's important for us to consider just taking a breath sometime to listen, to understand what the sender is sending you for you to be able to receive that information and respond. We work with lots of different people. We've got this wonderful collaboration of all these different personalities and cultures in the country. It's important for us to remember that when we're dealing with different cultures and different people and all our different languages, that we must understand what the question is. So it's a very important skill to learn to be able to ask very politely, clarifying questions to make sure that you understand correctly, to be able to respond correctly. Thanking people for their honesty. So yeah, that's a tough one, especially when you're getting feedback, but it is important for us to acknowledge that it's not easy. It's not easy for most people to have that conversation with someone. Even on a managerial level, it can be really tricky to try and motivate someone, try and help them grow, but have to give them feedback where they need to improve. So it takes a great level of confidence. And so it would be nice if we could find a way in our hearts to thank someone for their honesty, even if it is quite tough. Reflect and act on what you can do better. So that's a great suggestion. This is how I reacted in the situation. What other steps could I have made? What different choices could I have made? How could I have responded? Sometimes it's just a change of your voice tone. Most misunderstandings, certainly in our office environment, happens with the tone of voice that people use. And the sender who's providing information has no intention of sounding like they're frustrated or angry. But it is just something for us to bear in mind as well. Follow up to show that you've taken your feedback seriously. So once you've received your feedback, your confidence is back in place, you've made the required changes, you've maybe taken on that extra course. It's wonderful to then go back and reflect, to say, these are the steps that I've taken to improve. And what is the feedback from your side in terms of what have you seen the improvements come from? And that also can just make you feel really warm and fuzzy inside because you get feedback on where you've gone great improvements and where there's still maybe a little bit of extra improvements that we can do. Unfortunately, none of us are perfect, so we're always striving to just keep improving. So top tips to remember when giving constructive feedback to a colleague, a co-worker, an employee, or a client. So start with a purpose and care. Will this feedback help or hurt? So I think this is where emotions come into play. I think that sometimes people have an emotional reaction to a situation and they want to address it as soon as possible. But it is important to just take a step back and to evaluate to see, is it something that just happened in the moment? Could there have been a misunderstanding? Will this feedback really help improve someone, or is it just going to upset them and hurt their feelings? It's a tricky tightrope. It is. Choosing the right time and place to do that. Wow. Timing cannot be understated. We have so many things happening on a daily basis. And if something's happening in the heat of a moment, perhaps it's worth just taking a breath and circling back to it, as they say in their corporate speak. We're going to park it and circle back to it later, when it's a better time and perhaps emotions are not running quite as high. Be direct but kind. So if you found yourself in the position where you've decided you are now going to take that step, you're going to provide the constructive feedback, you've built up your confidence, you're going to do it, be direct but kind about it. Imagine empathy. If someone was to approach the same thing with you, how would they want to approach it? Focus on behavior and not personality. Top tip, absolute top tip. We work with so many strong personalities on a daily basis, whether it's colleagues, managers, clients. This is where our emotions again come into play. We've got to be very, very careful to focus on behaviors and not someone's personalities. Um, the feedback sandwich technique. Has anyone on the call ever heard of the feedback sandwich? I'm going to assume, since the quietness, that there isn't. Pumla, am
No,
I
we haven't
correct?
heard. No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So the feedback sandwich, for someone who doesn't know and who's moving in towards a team leader, leadership, supervisor, management environment, is a very, very helpful tool. So how this works is, if you need to address something with someone, is to sandwich two negatives or two positives with a negative. So you go in and say, oh, you've really done ABC so well. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much. I think that we can improve on this specific section in your work. I think if we take steps ABC, then we can really see an improvement in your daily work, your deliverables, whatever the situation is. But you've got such a wonderful positive attitude that everyone loves working with you. So you've got a positive, you've got a negative, and you've got a positive. So someone goes in feeling positive, they get the bad news in the middle, but they leave the discussion feeling like it was still ended on a positive note. So it's a top tip for anyone in that environment. You will use it and you will see that it works like absolute magic. So I will leave that with you guys. Please try it and tell us. So in terms of feedback, for anyone who doesn't know, any interaction with our student support team automatically gets sent an SMS. That SMS takes you straight through to a Hello Peter link, and you can complete your feedback on how you feel about the service that you've received. So we've taken a step to allow anyone to provide us with any feedback, whether it be positive, whether it is constructed feedback. So all our feedback goes straight onto Hello Peter, and it gives anyone who goes to our Hello Peter profile a true snapshot about what our students are feeling. So we've got an overwhelming amount of 5 stars with great service. For anyone who's not familiar with it, the NPS, which is a Net Promoter Score, gives an indication about how happy customers are compared to bad feedback, good feedback, and we're very proud about our NPS score. So we do appreciate all the feedback that we get, both where we're doing really great and where we can improve, and we encourage all our students to continue to please share their feedback with us. So our next step following taking constructive feedback, which is a bit of a heavy subject, is empathy. So empathy is just so important in any role, but specifically when dealing with people who are studying and balancing all those balls that I mentioned earlier on today. So our student support team, including the advisors, coordinators, and our student coach Sunday, as I mentioned, we've done our studies. We understand that it requires effective time management, prioritizing your work and family life, developing motivational and self-confidence skills, and finding ways of coping and managing with the stress. So I'm hoping that we've got a lot of students online and that they've all received calls from Asanda to see how everything is. As the student support team fall directly underneath my purview, I do have the joy of listening to their calls sometime as well. And I can really, really say that Asanda's commitment to our students is really impressive. She really, really invests on trying to help them and listening and motivating. And there's different journeys that we can send. We understand that students sometimes struggle with financial difficulties, managing time, prioritization. We're here to listen to see how we can assist with that because we understand how important that is. I do just want to take a little step away quickly. So we're discussing serving with kindness and care. And I think, unfortunately, sometimes, whether it be in a retail environment, whether it be in a school, whether it be in insurance, whatever the environment is, I think sometimes people have a misconception about what customer services really is. I think some people feel like customer services is that the students or the clients or the whatever it is um, all the demands always need to be met. And I think that I found this really wonderful video that I just wanted to share with everyone, just to give you an idea about what the definition of customer services for me is. It's from this wonderful gentleman called Simon Sinek. If you just bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to see if I can get this on. Pumla, please, can you let me know if you can hear this?
Talk about they have great service or bad service if they got what they
We
wanted,
can
didn't
hear the
get what they
sound.
want, right? But that's not true. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm on a business trip and my work is done early and I want to go home to my family. I check the website, I see that there's flights available on the earlier flights, let's call it a day early. And so I call the airline and I say, hey, I'm done early, I'd really love to get home to my family, I see that you've got availability in the earlier flight, can I get on that flight? And the agent says, I'm sorry, you have the wrong class of ticket. I can't change your flight. I'm happy to pay a fee. I'm happy to pay whatever it is. Please, can I get on that flight? I'm sorry, sir. I told you you have the wrong class of. You have the wrong class. I can't book you. You have the wrong status flight. There's nothing I can do. The computer won't let me do it. Okay? I now hate that airline, right? Okay, let's replay that. Okay? Same scenario. Hi, I'm done early. Love to go home. I see you have availability. Can I get on that flight? Sir, I want to get you home to your family. Here's the problem. Your ticket is the wrong class, and so the computer won't let me. But let me see what I can do. I really want to get you home to your family. Click, 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 click. That didn't work. Click, 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 click. That didn't work. Sir, let me talk to my supervisor. I'm determined to get you home to your family. Go away, come back. Sir, I talked to my supervisor. We've tried like 6 different things. There's nothing I can do. I am so sorry. I just cannot get you on that earlier flight. Don't worry. Thank you for trying. I now love that airline even though I didn't get what I want. And that's what it feels like when someone cares. It doesn't mean we always get what we want, but what we get is somebody who understands and cares about what we're trying to accomplish. That's considered good service.
Thank you. 1 second.
Still get the same feeling.
It wants to take us to the next video. All right. So I just wanted to take a quick moment to just talk about that side of customer services. So the gentleman is called Simon Sinek. He's got a lot of different videos on YouTube, and he focuses quite a lot on leadership and customer services. And I thought that that was really, really important. So I've been a customer myself. In fact, I will be happy to admit that I'm probably the worst customer. And I found myself being really unreasonable in certain situations, wanting things to be my way when unfortunately company policies don't allow it. And I think that that was a really important thing for us just to remember is that it's not always that a problem can be solved, but how we approach it that would make the difference. So we're talking about building skills now with customer services. So we're looking at resolving queries as quickly as possible, doing specific training where there's something that could just be improved on a little bit, a consistent framework for handling queries, ensuring clarity, professionalism, and empathy in every interaction. So there's nothing more frustrating for me than phoning in and being transferred from one department to another department to another department to another department. No one ever resolves the query. I find it a very frustrating situation to be. If the very first person was able to answer my query, that would be an ideal solution. So I understand that there's always different layouts and different organizations, so it wouldn't always be possible. But I want to feel like someone is trying to assist me rather than just passing the buck. It's not my job. I'm going to put you on to someone else. So I think that first resolution is ideal, and that framework for handling queries should be in place. Always being professional and being able to empathize with every interaction, and then maintaining the tone and guiding conversations. Oh, I cannot begin to tell you guys how frustrated I get when I call in anywhere and I get this. Hello, how can I help you? I am already frustrated. It doesn't matter what my query is. I might have been phoning in to give this company a compliment. Boy, believe if you answer the phone like that, I'm going to be so frustrated. We always have to sound like we want to be taking that call. We always have to smile when we're having the conversation. It just makes life a bit easier, especially if we spend a lot of time on the phones. Telephone work can be really tough. If there's anyone on the call who does telesales, telemarketing, anything like that, cold calling people, it is a tough, tough, tough job. So you've got to find a way to enjoy it. And I think telephone calls, whether it be customer services or IT or sales, whatever the situation may be, I think we need to find the joy and we need to sound like we want to be there to be able to be successful. Otherwise, it'd be very tricky. Ensuring that all the key information is communicated accurately. We've mentioned it, right? We are so busy. Life is so busy all the time. You want to phone up, you want to get the correct information, you want to speak to the right person. You don't want to be leaving the call feeling like you didn't get the information from the person you were speaking to. And then our core skills, our active listening, our conflict resolution, and cultural sensitivity when dealing with queries. So I briefly touched on that a bit earlier on today. There's so many different people, so many personalities, cultures that we're dealing with, and we've got to bear all of those things in mind when we're having our interactions. So we can build confidence and care and create a culture of service that's not only efficient, but deeply student-centered, fostering trust and satisfaction across every touch point. And we certainly try and do that at AOI. So the next section that we're going to look at is going to be positivity. So when we're looking at positivity, this goes back to my conversation, whether it's in a retail store, whether it's a phone call that I receive, I immediately feed off the person I'm interacting with, their posture, their interaction. So if I walk into a retail store and I'm like, hi, and they're really grumpy and miserable, it's put me in a bad mood. I've got it. I'm honest with you guys. It really does. It doesn't make me feel happy at all. I think that you have to be positive in your daily work. Other people feed off it. I think that it's also the secret ingredient in a company culture. So for anyone who follows Academy of York on our social medias, you'll see that we quite often try and do fun things and try and motivate the teams and just have a fun working environment where it's nice and positive, where we celebrate both internal and external successes. And positivity filters from the top down. Again, I'm going back to that one bad manager in your previous history. If you're working for someone who's negative, it will immediately just drag the whole team down. Anyone in a team, we feed off the energy that we get from our senior management. So it's really important for everyone to have a positive attitude. And they must understand how important it is for the team to be positive. So it's very hard to be successful in your role if you're not positive. All that positivity from senior management to the team filters down to clients. And customer services isn't necessarily just about solving problems, it's about shaping experiences. We want people to remember interactions with us. We want people to remember what good thing happened, what that person said, how they made me feel, how they listened. When I told them about recently coming back from a holiday and they asked what it was like and what I enjoyed most about it, building those relationships, it's really important. Greetings with warmth, responding to challenges with patience, and celebrating small wins, all so important in a working environment. And when team members lead with empathy and optimism, they create an environment where people feel valued, respected, and supported. It feels like Pumla and I just skipped through all these things and we addressed all of this right at the beginning of the slides. But I'm happy to say that we're of the same mind with regards to it, and we understand that that important section of things does work. So the next one that we're going to look at is persuasiveness. So this same gentleman that I mentioned, it feels like I'm his biggest fan. He's got a very big section in his videos and TED Talks and things that talks about understanding the why. It goes back to your reason for starting something. So for anyone, if there's anyone on the call who might have been on our study circle webinar that we did yesterday, we talk about the why. We talk about creating a vision board. Why did you start your studies? Where did you see yourself and at the end of your studies? And most people want to see themselves in the graduation gown and a graduation cap. So that can go on your vision board. So we have to understand the why in order to be able to deal with our queries, unpack the queries, see how we can get them in a straightforward and uncomplicated fashion so that we can try and resolve it. It provides different options in the context when we look at understanding the why, building the emotional connection, building rapport with people, consistently dealing with queries in the same way. And persuasiveness is influencing through empathy, clarity, and credibility. And I'm hoping that anyone dealing in a customer services environment has felt that when they need their queries sorted, or certainly anyone who's had any queries with regards to their studies has sort of come back with the feeling that we were trying to understand and we communicated effectively when we were doing that. So then we've got our old friend, product knowledge. So is there anyone on the call who can remember starting their most recent job and just feeling completely lost because you're not understanding the environment, you're not understanding the role, you're not understanding the requirements? You've seen it on paper, you knew what it was to be, but when you actually started the role, it was it was harder to get your head around. Is there anyone who wants to share that with us? So I'll certainly go and say that when in the past, when I've started a new role and I didn't know anything about the company, so it was a different industry. I didn't understand the processes. I didn't understand how all the puzzle pieces fit together. Woo, it was a terrifying environment. And it took me a really, really long time to get my head around that. I'm one of those people who needs to understand how do I get from A to B and all the sections in between. So when you get that understanding, when you understand your product and your environment and your customers and their requirements, it really does build confidence in you as a person. And then when you can transfer that confidence to your clients, it really does build credibility with the people that you're dealing with. So when our staff understand the institution's offerings, they speak with authority and they build trust. We want everyone who deals in a customer services environment to understand exactly what the offerings are, what you're signing up for. It's important for anyone to understand what it is, especially when a lot of the conversations are being done telephonically. Strong product knowledge allows staff to resolve queries quickly and correctly. So you don't have to always just pause and go and ask someone else to find out. Understanding the full scope of offerings helps tailor advice and individual needs. Yes, so we can make sure that we provide people with the right information right there and then. We have all the knowledge that we need. Knowledgeable interactions show that the team's confident, competent, caring, committed, encouraging. So it encourages retentions, referrals, and long-term loyalty. We've certainly had a lot of students who have come back to us because we've provided them with all the correct information, who've been willing to refer friends and family members. So I'm hoping that in every environment that everyone on the call is dealing with, that have similar experience with the people they're dealing with when they do know that they can trust the people they're speaking to and the product knowledge is strong. So this was one of my favorite quotes that I came across. So it says, when product knowledge is paired with compassion, service becomes transformational. And I just thought that it was such a beautiful, beautiful quote to share with you today because it really does tie in so nicely. So everyone's been a bit quiet on the chat this morning, but I would like to reach out to you to please share your customer experience that you've had recently, preferably great customer experience, whether it was in a retail shop or even maybe in your own organization. I would love to hear what your most recent customer service experiences are. I would be very sad if they've all been negative, but if there are any negatives that you want to discuss as well, I would welcome that. I will start. I recently purchased a product online. It was the first time I've used the supplier. It was a fairly straightforward process, but when my product arrived, it arrived with a handwritten note to thank me for purchasing this product. Handwritten, not typed. I cannot begin to express how happy that made me. It was such a small, insignificant, but it was so personal to me that I will never, never forget it. I'm hoping that we've got some other delegates on the line who'd be happy to share with us this morning. But while I'm waiting for that, Pumla, can I ask for your feedback on what your experience has been, good or bad, for customer services?
For me, it's just the little things that count, Janine. I've recently been to the shops and I had the cashier just ask me how I am, just a greeting. Because most times you find that they just take whatever is in your hand and scan and put in the plastic, and that's just about it. But for me, it brightened up my day to have somebody greet me with a smile and actually ask me about how I'm feeling and how my day is going. That was a phenomenal customer service experience for me.
It's as simple as that. A friendly smile, a good attitude, a small handwritten note. Have we had anyone else who shared any of their experiences? Okay. It doesn't seem like anyone else wants to share their experiences with us on the call this morning. Okay. All righty. That's fine. That's fair. Maybe I just put everyone on the spot and no one had thought about it for a little while, but hopefully this session this morning will let you think about it. So we'll move on to why is care and customer services so important. So we have this wonderful quote that says, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. And I think that anyone who's on the call who's a parent has certainly had plenty of conversations with their children. If you don't have children, nieces, nephews, friends, colleagues, about how upsetting it is when someone hurts your feelings. And certainly if you're dealing with younger people, about trying to explain to them how important kindness is and how to share that kindness with other people, because we're built on kindness as a as a people, kindness is sort of one of our foundations. So when we're dealing with care in customer services, it builds trust and emotional safety. It enhances problem solving. It strengthens relationships, improves outcomes, and fosters a culture of care. So I'm hoping that in interactions that you experience throughout the day, as we're moving towards the festive season, if anyone can believe that we're already mid-October and we're moving towards that sort of break in the year, that they understand compassion and customer services isn't just a soft skill, it's a strategic advantage, and every interaction can shape someone's future. Kindness and customer services shouldn't be optional in any environment. We can't always say yes, unfortunately, as the video said. We are tired sometimes, but there is a way that we can transfer the message to hopefully just feel like someone still heard us and someone still understood where we were coming from, even if the problem can't necessarily be 100% solved in that environment. So at Academy of York, we are passionate about our fanatical student support. I'm hoping that anyone on the line has experienced it and can attest to it. So we are a fully accredited college. We provide affordable monthly fees. We do offer fanatical student support, and upon completion, we do celebrate your success at the graduation. Has there been anyone on the line who has been to the graduation? Has anyone indicated that for us, Pumla?
Um, I haven't seen any comment about anybody that's been to the graduation as yet. No.
Okay. All right.
But I do have a few comments. We have Klabiso who says, I always get good customer care from Matsidiso, my student advisor. She always goes the extra mile. And then we've got Yeketseng who says, I had an experience with the Keisha where she looked a bit sad and I was the one extending kindness without even asking what the issue was. Just the words of affirmations and kindness and sharing jokes. By the time we were done, her and her assistant were laughing, thanking me for making their day and showing gratitude. And we've got Lerato who says, I still remember a lady by the name of Mary Simpson from AOI until today. That's why I finally decided to study. When I decided to study, I came straight to AOI. We've got Pilisiwe who says, Asante Zuma is such an amazing person. She's very kind and caring and always ready to assist.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for providing your feedback. Yes, all the names that were mentioned there today, Matsadisho, Mary, Asande, we work with a great group of people. We enjoy working with them. They're all really lovely people, and we all want to see the best for our students. So on the screen, I've got a quick snapshot of our last graduation. Our team are always eager to celebrate. So they stand next to the stage when people walk up and we make lots of noise. I think sometimes our team are more excited than the actual graduates, if I'm honest with you. But it would be lovely if we could invite more people to the graduation, have more people come and celebrate and see how much fun it is and how much we enjoy celebrating everyone. So, at Academy of York, we understand the importance of the human side of the education environment. We believe that we're the real deal. We understand that our students and families face stress, uncertainty, and emotional challenges. We believe that every interaction is a chance to build trust and belonging. Um, we provide kindness to improve satisfaction, retention, and reputations. And we do this through active listening without interrupting, warm, respectful tones in all our communications, patience to make sure we understand the questions so that we can answer them correctly. We're proactive in our support. As Sunday was mentioned, actively phones our students to find out how they're doing and where they're struggling. It's not a situation that we just wait back and hope for the best. We create feedback loops. So any interaction goes through to the Hello Peter link. There's a form that you can complain. We've got emails, offers, WhatsApp lines, contact numbers. So we encourage feedback to see if there is anything or where we can make some improvements. We recognize and rewards compassionate service internally. I can certainly attest to that. I cannot wait to share with Matsadisho and Asande the positive feedback that we've received. But any wonderful feedback that we receive through the feedback forms is shared on a meeting with the team so that everyone can hear. The same with really outstanding feedback on Hello Peter, where it refers to individuals. And I share that with them and their managers as well. It's important to celebrate those. They're not small ones, they're big ones, and we look forward to celebrating those. We do constant training to try and make sure that everyone has the best knowledge available at all times. We support students who miss deadlines with understanding. We provide extensions where we're able to, and we spend a lot of time guiding new I don't want to say applicants, but new enrollments through a very confusing process with patients. So any questions that people might have, we try our very best to make sure that everyone understands exactly what the requirements will be. And we believe that by doing all of this, we have improved communication and fewer escalations. We build stronger relationships with students and families. We have a very positive, inclusive institutional culture and a higher staff morale and engagement. I haven't actually run this for a while, so I can't give you the exact stats, but our team on average have been with us for more than 5 years, some of them up to 12, 13 years. So we're really proud of that stickiness that we've created with our team, and we're confident that it's our environment that's helped us achieve that. Leadership modeling kindness to their interactions. We believe that the management team invest in our teams and want the best for them and support them as much as what we can. And we do a lot of compassion with our onboarding and training with new people as well, so that they understand what the requirements are and how the company culture is put together. And we create a safe space for staff to share their challenges and support each other. Even with the management team, we've got an open door policy. People can come in at any time and discuss anything that they wish with us. And we celebrate all small acts of kindness across the team. We celebrate anniversaries for work, baby showers, birthdays, and any small acts of kindness that we like the opportunity to celebrate in the office. So we're nearing the end of our presentation now, and I just want to remind everyone that kindness is contagious. So every kind word and compassionate gesture ripples outward. I'm sure that that clerk in the retail store that our one delegate mentioned, where they put a smile on their face and improved their mood, carried that over through to everyone else that they dealt with on that day. And we've established from Pumla's feedback that when you're approached with a great positive attitude and a wonderful smile, you reciprocate that as well. So I think that that was a wonderful example. In education, service is not just transactional, it's fanatical. And Academy of York leads with heart. We listen with empathy and we serve with a purpose, because we are the college for people with a purpose. So that is my whole presentation for everyone this morning. We're still in the morning. We've got a whole 7 minutes left for any other questions or comments that anyone wants to share. Before I check back in with Pumla, who's been a wonderful host, thank you so much for having my back during the session. Thank you for all our attendees and delegates who are on the call, who shared your time with us. I hope that you found it helpful. And I hope there were some things that you learned. I hope that you leave this presentation feeling positive and ready for the rest of the day to go spread that kindness. And for anyone who's not aware, we've got a refer a friend, refer a friend. What is it called, Pumla? The word's now escaping me.
Our refer a friend program where you can refer your friends or your colleagues to study with us. So if you are still paying for your studies, you will get 500 Rand in study credits once the person has successfully registered. However, if you are done paying for your fees rather, you then get 500 Rand, which is paid in cash to you once the person that you have referred completes the registration process.
Fantastic. That's the big word I forgot there. Program, refer a friend program. Thank you, Pumla, for rescuing me there. Please make sure that you share your referral details with your student advisor or coordinator or student coach at Academy of York. And we've got to follow a certain process to make sure that we can allocate those referrals. So please make sure that you share their details with them directly rather than asking your friend to contact Academy of York, because then it falls outside those purviews. So contact your student advisor or any of the Academy of York team, provide them with the details, and we'll make sure that you get suitably rewarded for that. And that is my whole story today. I want to thank everyone again for being on the call with us, and Pumla for your help and support as well. And are there any other questions or anything else that we can discuss?
We just have a few comments. We've got Finky who says, "Thank you so much, coaches, for the invaluable teachings and the topics. I'm grateful for the knowledge and insight shared. Thank you again for making a difference in our lives." We've got Nzandla who says, "I work at a customer care center and on the front line. Every day I deal with angry, disappointed, troubled, and confused walk-in clients. I always aim at changing the mood of the customer by the time they leave, sometimes even if their issues are not sorted."
Sure, that's tough. Well done.
Yeah, I think that's just about it from our side.
All right, it looks like there is one question from Lorata asking if she can unmute. I think that everyone's got the opportunity to do that. Anyone who wishes to unmute, you can put up your hand and you can do that for us.
Hi, morning, everybody.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Hi, Pamela and Janine. I just want to first say thank you so much for the knowledge that you have fed us with this morning. It's well appreciated. I just want to, I just actually want to share something since we are in the topic of customer service with you guys, and just try to see if you can perhaps help me to check. It's a situation that happened at my previous employer, which it left me quite confused. I'm in customer services. I love customer service, by the way. I'm very passionate about customer service. So when you asked about experiences, mine was mostly on a lot of good experiences. I have built a lot of great relationships with customers to a point where they actually prefer to deal with me instead, you know what I mean? So now it happened at the workplace that um, a manager, someone superior, because I worked at a place where we were fixing coffee machines at that customer service. So my job as the customer service person would be to welcome in the machines, keep in touch with the contact with the customers, just to tell them as and when where we are with the repairing or service of the machine up until the final stages of collection. So then it happened that later, like during the, because I worked there for about 5 years, so I think on the fourth year, then the manager announced that we should now start making sure that when the customers reject the quotations of the machines, so what the technicians need to do is make sure that they mess up the entire machine in a way that it's totally not going to be able to be used by the customer should they take it back. So that will obviously help in terms of the customer eventually having to bring back that machine. So it really did not sit well with me. It really did not, like, as a customer service person, I believe that I am there representing my customers, so making sure that they get the service they need up until from the start up until the end. So I battled with it a lot up until to a point where it cost me my job, because then we started fighting, because I was challenging that I didn't feel like it's right for us to do that, to a point where as a customer service we're asked to like when because I also did quotations, right? And then so when you doing a quotation where you are advised to say that you also changed the grinder, knowing very well that there was no grinder replacement, the grinder was just cleaned and put back. So I just wanted to know from you guys, like as an employee, because I'm just seeking advice so that I know better. Should I, at my next job, like where do we draw the line as customer service people? Because at the end of the day, we also told about integrity, which we still feel like that's what I felt like. It's not that does not define integrity in my workplace, but at the same time, I lost my job because I tried to stand up for something that I believed was right. And at the end of it all, it got me to where I am now. So I just want to know, as a customer service person, is there a way that are you supposed to do what the employer says you must do? Or where do we draw the line between what you are told by your management versus what you know as a human being, whether it's right or wrong?
Sure. Okay. It is Lorata, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, Lorata, thank you for being brave enough to share this story with us. That sounds like an impossible situation for you to be in. I've got to agree with you in terms of ethically, it doesn't sound like this company was acting in the right manner. It's difficult for me to be able, so you definitely did the right thing in terms of standing your ground and saying that they were not doing the right thing. In terms of how to with it in a working environment, I'm not sure about the structure that was set up, whether you had a union environment, whether there was a HR representative, whether there was a head office that you could potentially have taken this to, because it doesn't sound like something that would be aligned with company policies. And if it's a standalone manager that was making that decision for whatever reason, it feels like it should have been, you should have the opportunity to be able to be a whistleblower as it is to find out whether the actions that they're taking is in line with company policies.
Yeah, yeah, to some extent, I did try to escalate the matter further because it's an international company. So I did try to send out an email, but it also looked as if they were either well aware of that or just that, you know, just as long as we keep money afloat in the company. So it didn't go far. So that's why I just wanted to seek advice from this. I thought I'd take advantage because that's what I'm doing currently. I'm still educating myself further in terms of just knowing, how to still go about excelling in the customer service field and not letting that past experience affect me in a way that I would maybe think it's not worth it being in the customer service field or industry. But then that's where most of my experience is. Like I've been 19 years in the customer service industry. So it's safe to say that I'm really passionate about it. I love it. I love interacting with people. So I just wanted to know that where do we draw the line as customer service people? Like, do you have to maybe go according to what you told while looking for another job, maybe if you feel like that's not the way to go about doing things? Or do you, next time when I get another job, if I'm told that this is what you need to do, should I follow into what I'm told to do? Because then I would have now been working from a point of experience of what happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is a very, very tricky situation. I do agree with you. I don't think that they were doing the right things. I think that as an individual, you have to make a decision in terms of what allows you to sleep at night. And if what the company is doing doesn't allow you to sleep at night, then I think that it was perhaps not the best fit for you. You started off by saying that you're passionate about customer services. Clients prefer to deal with you above anyone else. So you've obviously got a strong customer service ingrained in you. I would definitely build on that. Please don't let this one bad experience ruin it for you. It was clearly just not the right environment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I guess I needed to hear that. I just needed to just share and get some different perspective from it. Thank you so much, Janine. Thank you, Pumla. Thank you, guys. You've mentioned everything that I've always believed about customer service in the seminar, so it's quite reassuring. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank
Well, thank
you.
you for
Thank
being
you.
brave enough to share your experience with us as well. We have unfortunately now run out of time, but thank you again for everyone. I really enjoyed interacting with you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for sharing your stories. Let's go and spread that kindness and let's have a great customer services experience with everyone that we interact with going forward. Thank you so much, everyone. We will make sure that we share the recording and the slides with everyone on the call today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for a lovely session.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. See you next time.